Hi everyone, it's Alexia, founder and owner of Alexia Academic Consulting and your favorite college admissions coach that can get you your guaranteed 100th percentile score on either your ACT, SAT, or PSAT. So today I'm actually not talking to my teenagers. I'm talking to my parents and I'm telling you 10 things that you need to stop doing to your teenager during their college applications. Because I want to save everyone's relationship, stress levels, and just general anxiety because it's a very stressful time to be applying to college. And for many of you, this might be your first teenager, your first child, you want to get it right. It might be your only child. And in general, you just want the best for your teenagers. So let's not make this situation more tense. So here are 10 things you can do or stop doing during the college admissions process. The first thing that you can do is stop forcing your kids into test prep before they're ready. So I personally feel like teenagers should start preparing for their standardized test at the end of their sophomore year. I think that is perfect timing, and from then on is like the sweet spot when you should be preparing or have already taken your test. So if you're coming to me with an 8th grader, you need to rethink test prep because at that point, kids should just be being kids, focused on maintaining good habits, good routines. And so stop forcing 8th graders to try to study for the ACT. It's just not doing anything. On the flip side, the next thing that you need to do is if your child does need a tutor, to get your child a tutor. Some students, when it comes to standardized tests, they are not capable of their own of teaching them a lot of teaching themselves a lot of critical thinking concepts that can often cause a lot of students to not be scoring their fullest potential on these standardized tests because in school often they're just kind of given material, told to memorize it, and they're tested on that. So that's when a tutor comes in handy. Number 4, you need to give your teens more responsibility during this time. You cannot be doing everything for them. They will be away from you in college. They will be having to schedule be required to know when will they be taking a test. How should they be studying leading up to the test? Mommy and daddy won't be telling them to study. So I like to think that the ACT, the SAT, the PSAT is the perfect time to start getting teenagers to start thinking about like taking care of themselves because they're going to have to do it in college, and since this is miscellaneous work that's still important, they can start gradually falling into that role. The next thing that you need to do is to stop saying no when they ask you to take them on a college visit. Yes, they might want to get off from school or just go out of town for the weekend, but at the same time, they are still interested in college, and just going there, they can actually see themselves there at the school. They can start thinking, oh wow, I want to be here. And even if that motivation is partying or academic, they still know, okay, I want to go there. I got to do this amount of work so I can get there, and I'm all the way over here. So say yes, plus you get to enjoy that time bonding with your child, and you're not going to be able to get back those teenage years. So quit saying no when they ask you for a tour. The next thing that parents need to stop doing is putting their own hopes, aspirations, wants, and unfulfilled desires onto their children. So if you didn't get to become a doctor, if you didn't get to become a model, engineer, whatever you wanted to be, that's on you. Your child is a whole new person. They have a whole new life, whole new plan, and just your job is just to support them in whatever dream that may be, even if it's not the dream that you want for them. And just help them thrive. The next thing that parents need to stop doing is forcing their teenagers to do community service that they don't want to do. I found that it's a lot better if you ask your teen what is their interest and then try to build a brand around that. Try to make them do community service that aligns with that. Ask them what their future major is, and then make it all tie in together. And then that way they feel like, oh wow, this seems cool. They tend to be more motivated in their academics, and they are passively volunteering and, not being on their phone all day, so they're getting out the house. This next one is a big one, and that is quality over quantity. So stop trying to put your kid into 50 million activities hoping that it will make a college admissions committee feel like, oh wow, this student is super involved in a lot of stuff. No, that student looks super uncommitted and like they're trying to be space fillers. So it's better to have a few activities that they are very much involved in and have been doing it for like a few years, as opposed to something that was only done once or an occasional bake sale. Next, parents should be on their teenagers about starting early in their test prep. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So the sooner you get started, and lastly, what you want to do is cherish every moment with your teenager. So just stop what you're doing now and go spend time with your teenager, because this is the last time that you get to call them your teenager. To save $200 off of your purchase at AlexiaAcademicConsulting.com, you can use code Alexia at checkout.